needs this. Okay, so solving two-step equations. Solve 3x plus 4 equals 10. So when you're solving equations, the goal is to get the variable or the letter, which is x, all by itself. So we need to get rid of everything around it to tell us what x is equal to. So go ahead and draw a line. We'll copy down our problem, 3x plus 4 equals 10, and then we're going to write our steps. So we're going to be using inverse operations. So in order to get rid of this plus 4, we need to cancel that out. So what cancels out a positive 4? A negative 4, because positive 4 minus 4 is just 0. So we can cross that off. Now, whatever you do to one side of your equation, you have to do to the other side of your equation. So we can't just subtract 4 from the left side because that totally changes the equation. But if we do it to both sides, we're just moving that 4 over to the other side, and we're allowed to do that. So you're going to undo positive 4 by subtracting 4 from both sides. Any questions on the first step? So then that leaves us with 3x and 10 minus 4 on the right side of our equation, which is 6. So again, we're using inverse operations. So 3 is being multiplied by x. So in order to undo multiplication, we have to divide. So division is the inverse of multiplication. So step 2 is we're going to undo 3 times x by dividing both sides by 3. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. So then we solve for x. So 3 divided by 3, well, that's just 1, right? 1x. So that's just x equals 6 divided by 3, which is 2. So x equals 2. Okay, I'll leave that for you to finish copying, and then let's go ahead and do the solving two-step equations assignment. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the assignment in your workbook, solving two-step equations. So again, our goal is to get the variable all by itself. So we have to get rid of everything else around that variable. Zoom in a little better. Okay, so 3r plus 5 equals 23. So we need to get rid of positive 5. So remember, you always do the opposite. So if it's a positive 5, that means you subtract 5. And whatever you do to one side of your equation, you have to do to the other side of the equation. So then our 5s cancel out. We bring down what we have left, which is 3r on the left side equals 23 minus 5, which is 18 on the right side. Questions so far? Okay, and then 3 is being multiplied by r. So we said we undo multiplication by dividing. So we divide both sides by whatever number's in front of our variable. So since it was 3 again, that's why we're dividing by 3. So that 3's cancel out, leaving us with r equals 18 divided by 3, which is 6. How are you guys feeling? Any area of confusion so far? How I got anything? No?
No.
Okay, great. Okay, I'll do one more with you and then I'm going to ask you guys for help on the next few. So negative 2x plus 4 equals 24. So again, since we have a positive 4, we need to subtract 4. And when we subtract 4 from the left side of our equation, we have to subtract 4 from the right side of our equation. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. The 4's cancel each other out, leaving us with negative 2x equals 24 minus 4, which is 20. Then we divide both sides. In this case, since negative 2 is in front of x, I have to divide both sides by negative 2. Those cancel out, leaving us with x equals 20 divided by negative 2, means our answer is going to be negative, and 20 goes into 2 10 times. So x equals negative 10. Okay, so number 3, negative 4x minus 1 equals 27. Amari, what would you do first? We'll go in alphabetical order.
Cancel out the 1.
Good. So what am I going to do?
What's it good again?
So if it's a negative 1.
Subtract it with negative 1? Sorry.
Okay, so we were doing subtraction because in these cases they were positive. But since we have negative 1, you always do the opposite. So since it's a negative 1, now we have to do a positive 1. And then what we do to one side, we have to do to the other side.
Okay.
Good. So then the negative 1 and the positive 1 now cancel out. So we have negative 4x equals 27 plus 1, which is 28. Okay, you're going to have to go ask Daddy. Mommy's working. Can you close the door, please? Okay, and then Dakota, do you know what I'm going to do next to solve for x?
Yes, you're going to do negative 4. You're going to negative 4 divided by negative 4. Then you can do 28 subtracted by negative 4.
Excellent. Very good. So then our negative 4's cancel out.
And that gives you negative 2. No, yeah, negative 2.
So 28 divided by 4. What times 4 is 28? Seven. So it would be x equals negative 7. Very good. Okay, Solomon, what would I do first for number 4?
You would cancel out the 5 by subtracting 5 to each side.
Excellent. Very good. So then I have negative 3n equals negative 7 minus 5, which is negative 12.
Then you divide by negative 3 to each side.
Excellent.
And that gets you 4.
Excellent. Yep, n equals 4. Very good. Okay, we'll go back through again. Amari, what would we do first for number 5? 3a minus 5 equals 16.
So add 5.
Excellent.
I mean, not add 5, but yeah.
No, you're right. Yep, we're going to add 5, and whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. Good. That leaves us with 3a equals 16 plus 5, which is 21. Then what would I do, Amari?
What's it called again? Divided by 3.
Oh, there you go. Yep. Divide both sides by 3. And so what does a equal?
7. I mean, yeah, 7.
Yep. You're right. Very good. You got it. Okay, Dakota, your turn for number 6. 4b minus 5 equals 11. What should I do first?
You're going to add 5 to both sides.
Excellent.
And then that'll leave you 4b plus 16. 16.
Good.
Equals 16.
Excellent.
And then do divided by 4 both
Yep.
sides. And then b equals 4.
Excellent. Very good. Okay, Solomon, your turn for number 7.
You add add 4 to each side.
Perfect. Okay, that leaves us with 5r equals negative 50. Then what?
You divide by 5 on each side.
Yep.
And that gives you negative 10.
Perfect. Okay, we'll go through one more time and then we'll be done with this assignment. So, Amari, number 8.
Subtract by 2.
Perfect. Okay, that leaves us with negative 2a equals 12. Then what?
Oh. We divided by 2.
By just 2?
Or yes or no?
So if negative 2 is in front of a, then you have to divide by negative 2. Otherwise, it won't cancel out.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you want to divide both sides by negative 2. So then those cancel out, which gives us a equals what?
6. Negative 6.
Good, negative 6. Great job. Dakota, for number 9, what am I going to do first?
Add 2 to both sides. Then that gives you 3b equals 30 divided by 3 gives you b equals 10.
Fantastic. Very good. All right, Solomon, number 10.
You add 5 to each side.
Add what?
4. Keep mixing that up.
Good job. That leaves us with negative 2b equals negative 10 plus 4, which is negative 6. Then what?
Divide by negative 2.
Very good. And so
That gives you
v
3.
equals 3. Wow, very good. Okay, so if you can do this, that's huge. You guys are so good at solving these. The rest of them are going to be really easy. So let's keep going. That was solving two-step equations. Now we're going to throw in some distribution. So our next notes are solving equations with distribution. So we're literally just adding one step to what you just did, and that's just multiplying. So when we have distribution, it's going to look like this. 2 times x plus 3 equals 8. So step 1 is the only new thing, which we have to get rid of parentheses. So our first step is we're going to distribute to eliminate the parentheses. Okay, so the 2 has to get distributed to everything inside the. Let me know when you're ready, Dakota.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay. So we're going to distribute to eliminate the parentheses. So that just means we're going to multiply everything in the parentheses by 2. So make sure to draw your arrows to everything inside so that you remember to multiply the x and the 3. So that's the most common mistake. People always remember to multiply 2 times x, but they forget to multiply it by that 3. So you want to draw those arrows and multiply. So 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 3, 2 times a positive 3 is a positive 6. So that becomes 2x plus 6. Any questions how I got 2x plus 6? Okay, so then we just bring down our equals 8. Once you do that, it's exactly what you just did. Solve it. Now it's a 2-step equation. What we just did. So we would undo our positive 6 by subtracting 6 from both sides, just like we've been doing. So we have a plus 6, so we said we get rid of that by subtracting 6 from both sides. So our 6's cancel out, leaving us with 2x equals 8 minus 6, which is 2. Now we have to divide both sides by 2, just like we've been doing, right? We're undoing that multiplication by using division. And then our last step is we just solve for x. So our 2 divided by 2 cancels out, leaving us with x equals 2 divided by 2, which is 1. Any questions on the steps for solving equations with distribution?
Yes, I do. When you did the first part, so basically you're just adding. How'd you get the answer for how'd you get the positive 6? I mean, just how did you get the 6?
So I multiplied the positive 2 out here
Mhm.
by the positive 3 right here.
Oh, okay, so that's how you got it, and then you just use the 2 and put the x at the end. Okay.
So yes, so I multiplied 2 times x, which gave me 2x. And then I multiplied 2 times positive 3, which gave me the positive 6.
So basically you're just multiplying, or are you subtracting?
You're multiplying.
Multiplying, okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay, let's go ahead and look at the solving equations with distribution assignment.
Can you keep this one up for a little while? I'm
Sure.
not done yet.
Amari and Solomon, why don't you guys try number 1 on your own? And then you can see if you have any questions for me.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Let's go to our assignment. Okay, so step 1, distribute to eliminate the parentheses. So this is multiplication. 2 is being multiplied by everything in this parentheses, so v minus 2. So draw your arrows to both things in the parentheses and then multiply. So 2 times v is 2v, and then 2, in this case, inside the parentheses is a -2. So we have to multiply 2 times -2, which is -4. And then we bring down our equals 6. And then now it's exactly like those 8 problems we just completed on solving 2-step equations. So we get rid of the -4 by adding 4 to both sides. The 4's cancel out. We bring down our 2v, which equals 6 plus 4, which is 10. Then we have to divide both sides by 2, leaving us with v equals 10 divided by 2, which is 5. Any questions on number 1?
No.
All right, let's do number 2. So we're going to multiply everything in parentheses by 3. So 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 4, that's a +4. So 3 times +4 is +12. And that equals 27. Then we get rid of +12 by subtracting 12 from both sides. Bring down our 3x equals 27 minus 12 is 15. Divide both sides by 3. And x equals 5. Okay, Amari, help me out with number 3. What am I going to do first?
Wait, who's doing it?
Amari.
Okay.
We'll go in alphabetical order still. What am I going to do first, Amari?
You're gonna do the arrows.
Perfect. Okay, and what do I get when I do that?
You get 4, right, or no?
So I have to multiply 4 times x, right?
Mhm.
So what's 4 times x?
4.
But you're multiplying 4
4x.
times x. Yep, so you get 4x. And then I'm going to multiply, now I'm going to multiply the 4 times the 1, which gives us what?
4.
Good. And then that equals 36. Very good. Then what do I do, Amari?
You subtract the 4 by -4 and the 36 by -4.
Very good. Which leaves me with 4x equals 36 minus 4, which is 32. Then what?
You divide it by 4. I mean the 4 by 4, and yeah.
Yep. And so x equals?
8.
Very good. We've got this down. Okay, Dakota, your turn.
Can you give me 1 minute?
Uh-huh. Solomon, do you want to do number 4?
Oh, we can't do number 4 because somebody else is talking real loud, so we're waiting for her to finish.
Oh, okay. Oh, no problem. I'll do number 4, and then we can get to number 5. I'll have you guys do it. And number 4, it looks a little bit different, but it's still exactly the same. Even though the -1 comes first and then the x, it's still exactly the same. So you still just distribute the -3 to everything in parentheses. So -3 times -1, those are both negatives. So when we multiply 2 negatives, it becomes a +3. And then we're multiplying -3 times +x, which is negative 3x. And that equals negative 24. And so it's in a little different order, but we're still going to do the exact same thing. So we need to get rid of the number that's being added or subtracted to our x, which is positive 3. So we subtract 3 from both sides. Those cancel out, leaving us with negative 3x equals negative 24 minus 3 is negative 27. Now it looks familiar. Divide both sides by negative 3, and x equals positive 9.
Okay, I think for number 5, it would
Okay.
be, it'll be, you have to do your arrows.
Yep.
Is it mandatory to do arrows, or is that just to help?
It helps you so that, because I promise a common mistake is to just multiply the negative 3 and the n. People forget about the second thing in the parentheses. So that's why I like to have you guys do arrows.
Okay. So it'll be negative 3, and then negative 3, and then we're multiplying by 5.
Yes, but if you're multiplying negative 3 times n, don't forget your n. So negative 3n. Yep. And then what's negative 3 times positive 5?
That'll be positive subtracting positive 2, right?
Remember, we're multiplying.
Oh, 15.
So negative 15, right? And that's going to equal 0. Then what do I do?
You subtract, you add 3 to each side, or to both sides.
Which one do we want to add? Do we want to add 3 or do we want to add 15? Which?
Oh, 15.
Yep, good.
And then that cancels out. And then the answer, it's 15. And then then divided by 3.
By negative 3, yep.
Yeah. And that gives you 1.
So 15 divided by negative 3. What do you multiply negative 3 by to get 15?
Negative 5.
Yes, excellent. Good. Okay, Solomon, what about number 6?
So you have to first distribute the 2.
Good.
So it'll be 2 r minus.
Hello? Is that what you're reading now?
Yes. Minus 10 equals negative 28.
Very good. Then what?
Solomon.
Can you wait a second? I have to answer this.
Oh, he's on the thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay, never mind. Asking no questions.
So you would add 10 to each side,
Good.
and that will give you 2r equals negative 18.
Excellent.
And then,
Then what?
you divide 2 to each side.
Yep. And r equals?
R equals negative 9.
Fantastic. Very good. Okay, I'll do number 7, and then we'll have 3 left, so we can go through one more time. So we're going to multiply everything in the parentheses by 4. So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. 4 times n is positive 4n, and that equals negative 16. We need to get rid of this negative 4, so we add 4 to both sides. Those cancel out. We bring down our 4n equals negative 16 plus 4, which is negative 12. Divide both sides by 4, and n equals negative 3. Okay, Amari, number 8.
Okay. So we multiply the m by 4 and the 3.
Yep. So -4 times m is -4m, and -4 times -3 is +12. Then what, Amari?
Then we subtract them by then we subtract the 12 and the 52 by a -12.
Very good. So we have -4m equals 40.
And then we divide the 4m and the 40 by 4.
By -4, right? Don't forget your
Oh
negative.
yeah, -4.
Yep. So that those can cancel out, and that leaves us with m equals
10.
perfect. Very good.
Okay, so you do after you do your thingies, I don't know what to call them.
We call them arrows.
Then and
So
then -2m
okay.
subtracted by 10
Excellent.
equals -36. I mean 26.
Very good. Then what?
And then you do 2 -2 no, a 10 minus yeah, and then you get 36.
So this is a negative.
Oh,
So we have -26 and we add 10.
6. Okay, so 60. Then you do both sides by 2.
Right, but a -2, and so m equals
7. No, 8. 8.
8. Very good. Okay, and number 10, Solomon.
So you would distribute -2. So -2x plus -4
Good.
equals -10.
Excellent.
Then you would add 4 to each side.
Very good. Then what?
And then you would divide -2 to each side.
Yep.
And I'll give you 3x equals 3.
Wonderful. You guys are solving equations experts. All right. Any questions on distribution?
No.
No.
Nope. All right. You guys need a little break? You guys want like a 2-minute break before we go on to the next one? Or are you guys good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
You're good? All right. We'll keep going then. So your next page in notes. Let's see. Okay, so now we are going to solve equations with like terms.
Okay, so for me, what I have to unsubmit them and then resubmit all of them, like the new versions of them.
What's that, Dakota?
Because I already turned these ones in, so would I unsubmit the math and then take a picture of this one and then submit it?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if you have to unsubmit the other ones.
Yeah,
Or
have
you
to.
could, oh, you do before you can
Yeah.
upload them? Okay, then yes. Okay, so solving equations with like terms. So again, we're just going to add in one more step. And once we do this first step, then it's going to be just like the 2-step equations we've been solving. So 3x plus 6 plus 4x equals 27.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we want to draw a wall at the equal sign. And you're gonna see why we do that in just a minute. Okay, once we do that, step 2 is we're going to identify like terms. And in case you forgot, like terms are the same, they have the same variable raised to the same power. So our like terms, and you're only looking on each side of the equation together. So looking on this side of our wall, what like terms do we have?
3 and 6.
The 3x.
Oh, 3 and 4. Sorry.
3x and the 4x. Good, Dakota. Yep, because they both have x to the first power. And so the 6, there's nothing that we can combine with the 6 because there's no other just plain integers. Okay, so then, good. Once we do that, our next step is to combine like terms on the same side of the wall. So that's why we draw our wall. So since these are on the same side of our red wall, we can combine them. So 3x plus 4x, if we have 3 x's and we add 4 x's, we now have 7 x's. And that's the only new thing. So then we just bring down everything else. So we still have a plus 6 and we still have an equals 27. So that was the new, that's the only new part. Any questions on the new step, the new part that we added? Awesome. Okay, so then we just solve for x. Just like we've been doing. 7x plus 6 equals 27. We got to get rid of this positive 6 by subtracting 6 from both sides. Those cancel out. We bring down our 7x, and that equals 27 minus 6, which is 21. We need to get rid of the 7, so we divide both sides by 7, and x equals 3. Any questions?
No.
Awesome. Do you need a minute to finish copying, Dakota, before we switch?
No, I already copied these notes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's look at the solving equations with like terms assignment then.
Did you want us to do a second picture on our own?
Nope. Just as long as you just turn in the first page that we're doing together, that's great.
Okay.
Okay, so like terms. So step 1, we have to draw a wall. Then we identify like terms. So remember, they have to be on the same side of the wall. So in this case, we only have 2 terms and they both have x's. So those are like terms that we can combine. And always keep the sign with the number that it belongs to. So that negative belongs to the 6x. So we need to make sure to box in that negative with the 6x. Any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay. So then step 3, we combine like terms on the same side of the wall. So these are on the same side, so we can combine them. We have -3 and we add that with -6. Now we have -9x's. And that equals 18. In this case, we don't have anything we have to add and subtract. So we just jump straight to division because we're already at -9x equals 18. So I need to divide both sides by -9 and x equals -2. Any questions on number 1?
Nope.
I still don't understand what you're doing at all.
Okay, let's look at number 2. So Dakota, the only thing that we're adding now is there are like terms that we have to combine at the beginning. That's the only new step. Once we do that, then it's solving just like we just did on the last 2 assignments.
Okay, about like that's what I meant. Like okay, so I see like the next one. It's the 5x and then the 2x.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that.
You just combine those 2. Yep, that's the only new.
And adding, or what are you doing with it?
Yes, you're adding them together, right?
So no matter what it is, you're gonna add them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then it's much easier.
Yep, you got it. So then if we have +5x and -2x, when we add those together, we get 3x.
So one thing you need to just pay attention to is just the signs. And
Yep.
like the negative or the positive number, basically.
Right. So
Okay.
yep. So since 5 is bigger than 2, we're going to take the sign of the 5. So it's going to be a +3x. That's exactly right. You got to pay attention to the signs. And then we just bring down everything else. So we bring down our 5 and we bring down our -4. And then now it's just solving a 2-step equation. So we have to get rid of this 5. So we subtract 5 from both sides. Those cancel out. We have 3x equals -4 minus 5, which is -9. Divide both sides by 3, and x equals -3. Okay, let's try number 3. We'll draw our wall. Then I identify our like terms. So what can we combine here? We have 6p, a -3, and a +1. So our like terms this time are -3 and +1. We can't combine the p because this one has a p and these ones don't. So then we have -3 plus 1, which is -2. And then we bring down our 6p and we bring down our 10. And now it's a 2-step equation. So we add 2 to both sides. We bring down 6p, that equals 10 plus 2, which is 12. Divide both sides by 6. And p equals 2. I'll do one more and then we'll go through and have you guys help me out. Draw our wall, identify our like terms, which in this case is going to be m plus m. So if we have m plus m, that is 2 m's. We bring down our +5 and our equals -1. Now it's a 2-step equation. We subtract 5 from both sides. 2m equals -1 minus 5, which is -6. Divide both sides by 2, and m equals -3. Any questions?
No.
All right. Okay, let's go in reverse now. So Solomon, can you help me out with number 5? Go in reverse alphabetical order.
It wouldn't matter. It's in the middle.
Let's see.
So we'll draw a wall. So what are like terms that we can combine, Solomon?
4R and R.
Excellent. And so if we have -r and -4r, what does that combine to?
Positive 4.
So remember, if it just says -r, that's the same thing as -1r, right? So what's -1 minus 4?
-1 minus 4 is 3.
You sure?
Negative.
So if they're both negatives, we add them and we keep the sign. So -1. So yep, that's -5r. Good. And then we bring down our 3 and our equals -2. Now what, Solomon?
Now
How do I get rid of this 3?
you subtract it.
Yep. Subtract 3 from both sides. So I have -5r equals -2 minus 3, which is -5.
You divide -5, and that gives you +1.
Excellent. Very good.
Okay.
Okay. What can I combine, Dakota? What are my like terms?
Can you can do K and 5?
So if this one has a K and this one doesn't, those aren't like terms. We can't combine them.
So do 5 plus 5 and 2.
Exactly. So the -5 and +2 are like terms. So what's -5 and +2? What do those combine to?
They combine to -7.
If this one's a negative and this one's a positive, so it's the difference, right? So it's going to be -3.
Okay. And then bring down the K. And then 7.
Good.
Now you do you're going to do 7, 3, so that's on both sides.
Very good. We add 3 to both sides.
And that gives you 10.
So be careful with your signs. So if negative, it's -7 plus 3.
-10.
So it's going to be a negative, but it's going to be -4. So just be careful with your adding and subtracting. Good. Okay, Amari, what about for number 7? What are my like terms?
1 and 5. I mean,
Yep.
5 and yeah.
So 1 and -5. So what's 1 plus -5?
6.
Ah, you guys.
Oh,
are
I mean, -4.
-4. Good. Okay, and then we bring down the 5b. That equals -14. Then what, Amari?
Did we cancel them out? I mean, not cancel, subtracted by -4. I mean, +4.
Mm-hmm. Add 4 to both sides. So the 4's cancel out. That leaves us with 5b equals -14 plus 4, which is -10. Then what?
Then we subtracted by 5. I mean, divided by 5.
Very good. And so b
Yay.
equals -2. Good. All right, Dakota, can you help us out with number, oh wait, no, it's Solomon's turn, huh? Okay, Solomon, help us out with number 8.
So you have to add the like terms.
Okay, which is what?
6 and 2.
Good, and 6 plus 2 is?
8.
Good, and we bring down our 5m, and that equals 18. And then what, Solomon?
Subtract 8 to each side.
Excellent. So we have 10 equals 5m.
And then you divide by 5 to each side, which gives you m equals 2.
Wonderful, very good. Okay, Dakota, number 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
So what are my like terms?
So basically, you're gonna do 5, 5 and 3,
Good,
and
okay.
and then you're gonna do
So what do those combine to? 3 minus 5.
-2.
Excellent, good. And then so we bring down our -4m and our equals 8, equals positive 18. Sorry, that's equals 18. Then what,
And
Dakota?
You do subtract by 2 each time. -2.
Do you want to
both
subtract by
sides.
2?
Hmm?
I don't think we want to subtract. We want to add 2 to both sides, right?
Add 2 plus, yeah, okay.
Good. So -4m.
-4m equals 20.
Good. And then what am I going to divide by, Dakota?
Oh, sorry, I thought I was finished. Divide by 4. No, yeah. Negative.
Divide both sides by -4, and m equals
8. No, 5.
-5. Okay, and Amari, the last one, number 10. 2m plus 2m equals 12. What are my like terms?
2m and 2m.
Excellent. And those combine to?
4m.
Mm-hmm. So 4m equals 12. Then what, Amari?
You subtracted by 4. -4.
So usually we do. This one's actually one step ahead. We don't have anything to add or subtract. So right now 4 is being multiplied by m. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
skips us down to our last step. So we're going to need to
Divide.
Mm-hmm. And so m equals 3.
Wow.
All right, let's do the last one. We're on a roll. You'll be all caught up with Unit 1. So these are the 4 main lessons that were covered in Unit 1. Okay, so the last one is solving equations with variables on both sides. Okay, so we'll see something like this. Solve 2x plus 3 equals negative 3x plus 18. Copy down the problem. 2x plus 3 equals negative 3x plus 18. So again, we're just adding in one new step. So that new step is we have to get all of the x's together. And so the easiest way to get all of the x's together is to identify the smaller variable term and add or subtract it from both sides. This is the easiest way. So it gives you the easiest math. So the variable term, so when I say identify the smaller variable term, so the variable terms are the ones with the x's or the letter. So it could be an A or an M or an X. In this case, it's the X. So these are our two variable terms, 2x and negative 3x. So we need to get all of the x's together. So the easiest way is to add 3x to both sides. So if we add 3x, then those 3 x's, it cancel out. And 2x plus 3x is just 5x. And then we just bring everything else down. So our positive 3 equals, those canceled out, 18. And once we do that, it's just solving a two-step equation. So from there, we would just solve for x. Like we've been doing. So we have a positive 3, so we would just subtract 3 from both sides, cross those off. 5x equals 18 minus 3, which is 15. Divide both sides by 5. And x equals 3. Do you guys need time to finish copying the notes?
Yes.
Okay. Amari and Solomon, you guys can try number 1 on your own while you're waiting if you guys are done copying the notes.
So I'm just writing the math thing now.
Okay, no rush.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Let's go to our assignment. In your workbook, solving equations with variables on both sides. So again, we just need to get all the variables together. So we have A and we have 6A. So either way, you could subtract A from both sides or you could subtract 6A from both sides. Either way, you'd get the same answer. The math is easier if you move the smaller one. So since 1A is smaller than 6A, I would subtract A from both sides. So then the A's cancel out, leaving us with 4 on the left side of our equation equals -11. And then we have 6A minus A, which is 5A. That's the only new step. Any questions on that new step? Now it's just a 2-step equation.
No.
Perfect. All right, so we would finish solving. So we add 11 to both sides. Those cancel out. 4 plus 11 is 15 equals 5A. Divide both sides by 5. And A equals 3. Oh, this is a bummer. This has both of them. This isn't supposed to have, they're all supposed to look like number 1. These ones have like terms and variables on both sides. Okay, so let's skip 2, 3, 4. This one's a good one. That one's a good one. Not this one. This one. Okay, we only have 2 more.
Which one did you cross at the bottom?
I crossed off all the rest. I didn't want this to have like terms and variables on both sides. So it's supposed to just be problems like 1, 5, and 6.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, and let's see if the second page might have something to do. Okay, so for number 5, we have our variable terms -7p and -2p. So either one, it doesn't matter. You can either add 7p or you can add 2p. It doesn't really matter. So you just have to get all the p's together. The smaller one in this case though is the -7p. So I like to do the smaller one. So we would add 7p to both sides. Those cancel out. -8 equals 7. And -2p plus 7p is positive 5p. So that's the new step. Then it's just solving two-step equations. So we subtract 7, -15 equals 5p, divide by 5, and p equals -3. Number 6, 6b minus 9 equals 5b minus 7. So the smaller variable term between 6b and 5b is 5. So I would subtract 5b from both sides. And you notice that I'm lining it up with the other b, with the other variable term, because those are the only way, that's the only way we can do it. 6b minus 5b is just b, or 1b, but we don't need to write the 1. We bring down the -9, and that equals -7. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, so then we just solve for b by adding 9 to both sides. And b equals +2.
Okay.
That's it. On the back, let's do one more. There's one more on the back page that we can do. So you can cross off 11, 12, and 13. Let's just do 14. Let's just do one more to make sure we've got it.
That's up to 17 through 22.
Yep, you can cross off 15 through 20. Yep. So
I was
we'll
going a
do,
little too fast and I accidentally crossed out 14.
oh, that's all right.
Okay.
So for number 14, we have 5 plus 3x equals 3 plus 5x. So our variable terms are 3x and 5x. So just to show you can do it either way, I'm going to do it the other way. So I'm going to subtract the bigger variable term. It doesn't matter. You'll get the same answer either way. So then we still have 5. We have 3x minus 5x, which is -2x. And that equals 3. Questions on that first step? So then we would subtract 5 from both sides. -2x equals 3 minus 5, which is -2. We divide both sides by -2. And so x equals 1.
I think I got it. I got it.
Awesome. You guys do. You guys know how to solve equations really well. So that was the 4 main assignments for Unit 1. So let's go through. Let me help you guys upload because I know some of them got uploaded to like the wrong assignments yesterday. So let's go on to Canvas. You guys have 8 assignments to turn in. We just completed 8 assignments in an hour and 15 minutes.